All right, all good afternoon and welcome to, I don't even know which part are we in the series for OER ZTC training here at State Center Community College. Today we are going to go over LibreTexts Studio and H5P. For those who are attending today, if you could please type in your first and last name into the main chat and the college that you are primarily attached to for your attendance and participation for today. For our part-time instructors, we are going to be able to process compensation for you attending today's training. So without further ado, I would like to go and turn it over to Christina Moon, who will walk us through LibreTexts Studio and H5P. Wow, it's that kind of a Friday already.
It is. Thank you. And thank you for coming another Friday. This is my last Friday one. We have started with ADAPT, and now we have done H5P. Last week we introduced what H5P was, and I am sharing the right screen, right? Yes. And today we're gonna dive into the actual creation of H5P and how you would use it, and where you would like to use it, what to do with it after you created the type of activities. And I think Amanda kind of mentioned that these H5P questions, once you create it here, you could use it in multiple places. And one of them is also in ADAPT. So they're all connected in a way. And just as a review, there are a lot of H5P questions. So you can go to h5p.org and you can find multiple type of questions. But don't get too excited, since a lot of these are not necessarily accessible. There is a report on which types are accessible, and that list, it's actually it's not as long as you might think, and it leaves you with only 5 that are fully accessible, and a grand majority of them will need to have a workaround, and some of them are totally not accessible. But again, there are ways to use the workarounds, and there are alternatives if you decide to go use these, the ones that are in red, if you are using it in ADAPT, for example. If you use it in ADAPT, there is a way to make it an alternative pathway, so students are able to, that need accommodations, will be able to access the alternative, maybe the not so fun activity version of it, but it will be an accessible version of the same activity. It's still not the same, but at least you'll be able to have, you'll be able to use, the drag and drop, for example, that is not accessible for the 99% of your students, but the 1% that needs the accommodation will get a fill in the blank version of that activity. So on this webinar, we're gonna go over the basic ones, and we're gonna, oh, one more thing, and which I did mention this last week. So if you're planning to use these activities as homework in ADAPT, you have to make sure to try to avoid using the compound activities. These are the ones that have multiple checks. Remember the ones that I mentioned to you that have multiple buttons that say check, since that will mess up the scoring of the activity. Only the first activity will record the points, while the next check or the next slide of that collection of activities will not count. And I'm gonna go back and forth between the slides and the actual platform, since we were gonna be building it. So the plan is to do a few of these, we can start with the easiest one, multiple choice, fill in the blanks, sort the paragraphs, and try to create an interactive video with quiz questions. And then we're going to look into putting it in a Canvas page, or we could also insert it into a LibreTexts page. Now, since it is a small group, and I would like to see if, I want to be useful in the sense that it's not just me talking about activities that I'm going to create here, but if you have examples that you want to actually use, and if you have questions as we go along, with the step-by-step, or if you want to see something, please let me know, and then we can go in a different direction. Okay? Any requests of the everybody's okay with the type of questions I I chose to create here? So with let's see, multiple choice question. We can do that one. Let's do. I'm gonna just jump in. We can come back to that one. Let's do a fill in the blanks. Matching to column. Okay. Yes, that one. The matching to column, kind of like a matching one, I'm assuming. Yes, that one is also one of those that are not fully accessible. But if you're interested in that one, if you created this, same feature, if you use the adapt native question for the matching one, that one is accessible. So I'm trying to help you in the sense of not having to go multiple pathways. Obviously, if you find a platform that has it all accessible, then it's much easier to create. But we can look into that one. Thank you, Susan. So I wanted to show this one. I'll put it here so you can go check it out. That's a fill in the blanks. Now, it is a fill in the blanks, which, oops. It is accessible. It's one of the green ones. You will notice something, I don't know if all of you have seen this before. It's called a tip. This eye shows up, and if you click on it, the word that it's in parentheses actually shows up. We were told by our accessibility expert that using this not only helps students that are using the screen reader, because it comes to this top and shows as like okay, here's something that you need to look into. That's what's called a tip. And we were told to use it because this also helps all the students. It gets to this point. It is highlighting the fact that this is the word that they need to consider when filling in this spot. And so we've been using this for our projects. In all of them, you will see this eye popping in, and instead of just having just a box. I don't know if anybody has used it in the past. It's quite useful. And so I'm gonna go ahead and show you how that is done on this example of filling the blanks. So we're gonna go into Studio and create a filling the blanks. So we're gonna go, if you are in Studio, we're gonna create a new type. We're gonna go fill in the blanks. And I want you to, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and share the slide so you could also, because what I did, just in case you didn't have any activities for you to do, I created, yeah. So this is the slide deck. So if you go to slide 15, you can basically copy this and create my activity if you don't have anything for you to do right now. just copy paste. So we're gonna create, we're gonna do a present progressive. So we're gonna, I just grab this if you want. I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna create a new type, and it's gonna be a fill in the blanks. Now, if you ever get to an activity and you want to create it and you forget how to do it, there are tutorial videos, there are examples that show up right here. So you could always go and watch other examples. So I'm gonna do present progressive, and here is where I'm gonna put the instructions. Oops, where are you? So these are my instructions. You're gonna complete the sentence with the correct form of the present progressive. We're gonna put it here. When you bring something from another document, you always wanna clear the format, and this, because this is these are the instructions that will be in heading 2. And the next thing is the actual content, the text block. In the text block, you will see here the sentences, and the answer is in asterisks. So besides putting the answers in asterisks, you will see this. This is where the tip shows up, which in this case is the verb in parentheses right there. So if you grab the whole thing, what's nice about this is that you could have this in a document, which is what we did for our project. We worked in Google Doc, and you could have that whole thing written down, and you just copy paste exactly what I'm doing now, and then do it all at once. You could have all your activities ready to go, and then you just come here and then create just all the activities one by one in H5P. There, you cleared it. If you want to make the verbs in bold, like the original, you can come back and do that here. Again, all these instructions are right here. So if you forget anything that I said, you can come back here. Blanks are added with an asterisk, so that's for the answer, so the beginning and the end. Alternative answers are separated with a /. And you might add a textual tip using a colon in front of the tip. So that's exactly what I'm doing now. And I think I got not one more right there. I think I got them all. It will ask you to find a subject. So in this case, it will be language, attack. It's always useful. So this one was the present progressive. You could have it choose to publish it in other areas. If you don't care, you just leave it as is, and it will just live in Libre Studio. Another thing that you need to consider, if you go to settings, you could hide it. So for example, if I don't want to share this with anybody yet, I could close it up and nobody else will be able to see it in the library. If I don't care, I could just click on that and then share. Collaborators, this is a really neat thing that you can do if you wanted to add other people for editing purposes. So if I'm working in a team and I want to have my co-authors to have access to edit this activity, you could add them here. If you type the name, if they are in the system, they will show up. So for example, if I put, let's see if you're here. Oh, see right there. Which one do you think it is? Is it this one? This probably is this one, Antoinette. So if I add her here, and that you'll be able to see whether you have access to my activity. Then I save it, and there it is. I have my activity, I have my tip, and my fill in the blank is ready to go. Take. Oh, Oh, it's a program. I didn't read the instruction. That's it was the wrong I put the wrong answers. Any questions with that? Was that easy?
In what, sorry, my voice just cracked. In what kind of situation would you want to add a collaborator to it?
Like right now, I'm curious to see if you're logged in. I'm gonna give you the link to the activity. You should be able to go in and have the same editing rights as I do because I added you as a collaborator. So this works when you're working in teams and you want your teammates, your co-authors, to have editing power on that activity. So you don't have to copy, we're going to go over that, the idea of copying and cloning the activity. Yes, once you clone it, you can access it. But this gives you the editing power of my activity without having to clone. Do you have access to it? Do you know?
I do.
Yeah, you do.
I'm actually in it. So there's a couple of things that I think it would be I would like to know. If you are in a project where you're collaborating with others, they have access. What if, and I'm going to say more like me, what if I accidentally did something that I mess it up? Is there a way to
Oh, like a history of it?
like a history of it? Yeah, because that's where I'm afraid of, just an inadvertent mistake that I've done, not necessarily paying that much attention, that I might screw up the work that we've been building.
Uh-huh. That's a good question. There has to be a way to track what happened. I don't think there's another way away from here. That's the view. No. Because in LibreText pages, you do. There's a history recorded of it, right? That's
Yeah,
a
so
good
I
question.
guess the question is, since we don't know if you can backtrack, it
Mm-hmm.
would be really, when faculty do this and they collaborate, please be really, really careful in case you do something that you
Only people you trust. If you don't
there we go.
trust them, don't add them. So we only did this in the case because I asked for this also when this option showed up. We had a team and we wanted other people to come in and have access to for cute kitty. My cat does that all the time, always in front of the camera. I had to lock my office door so that she doesn't come in. But it made it so other people could come in and edit and find typos and fix it. So if I'm not there, then another workaround that we did, which could be, is create a team account, which is at the end, that's what we ended up doing. Because let's say in our case, we had on our first project 1,400 activities. If I do this for every activity, I'll go crazy, adding people one at a time all the time for every activity. So we ended up asking for a team account. So the team account gave access to everything as a team, and the changes were done at that level. And it didn't live in my in my library, because if I go to my H5P, these are the ones that I created. But I could also see which ones I collaborated. So that's another thing you have access. You can, because you were added to other activities as collaborators, you also get that library of collaborators.
Christina, could you show really quick? I saw it when you were in the edit space, how to change it from being case sensitive, because that's one of the things that I have the biggest problem with. And then also maybe how to add the license.
Yes, which, you know what? I thought that it was I think it's automatic right now, but before it wouldn't let you save it without having picking the license, which doesn't adapt. Yes. So case sensitive. So this is the default. It was already there, but if I don't care, I could unclick it. There are a lot of options that you can also check. There is in our case, we also did overrides where you could go and change the language of it. We wanted the buttons to show. I didn't open all this stuff, but there are a lot of things that you can come in and change. We ended up, instead of check, we wanted it in Spanish, so we changed that. So we could come in and modify that too. But there are a lot of other things in here that you could come in and edit. Unlike other platforms where you have access to the HTML code, here you don't. So this is the good and bad. The bad is you don't have access. You can't change things and that makes it very difficult for accessibility because you're stuck with this. But at the same time, it limits your choices. This is all you get. And they have added more than before. But if this is definitely one that you want to check if you don't care. Minor spelling errors, that also you have to think about what does that mean. In my case, those minor things are actually not minor, that they are important, but maybe if you are in a different field, as long as you're okay with typos, as long as the content is correct. So, and then where are you? The metadata. So this is where you're gonna go in and choose so because I didn't choose anything, it just made it open. But if you do wanna choose, you put it in here, and the name, it should actually show your name. I don't know why it's not showing mine, but that's what it should be.
Christina, I'm sorry. I know you click something. I see metadata. I follow exactly what you're doing, but I cannot find what you just have shown.
It's above the title, next to the title.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I skipped that part, but yes. And what's nice about this is that, let's say I copy somebody else's activity. This metadata will go with the activity. So it will, oh my gosh, I misspelled my name too. So forget that one. So let's say you are copying this activity again, because I don't want to do this metadata and all this stuff again. So I'll save it. If I click on reuse, copy content. Actually, I'm gonna share this. So for those of you that don't have an activity to work on, I'm gonna share this. So I'm gonna copy content and then go create new H5P. And then paste. And there it is, my copy of that same activity. I'm gonna call it copy so I don't forget that this is a copy of it. And if you go to the metadata, it would have kept my name in there. I don't know, it somehow translates into that, but I'm gonna see if it actually shows up as those weird numbers. Oops. Oh, I know what I did. It told me that I forgot to name the subject. There you go. So this is the copy of that one. If I go there, it should show my original. So I didn't touch it. It was a copy. So it follow the original metadata that was on that activity. Has anybody tried copying, reusing something? It's very easy. That way you can go in. For example, this is the copy version. I could go in and make an activity too. I keep everything the same, but maybe this time around I change a few things, you know, and I say, we are new, you know, and then I just change a little bit of this whole thing, and now it's a alternative version of that activity, something like that. Let me just go ahead, right? So you can create multiple versions of the same activity by doing this reuse. It works the same way that if you were doing it in ADAPT, where you clone activities, but you can do this with other people's activities too.
That's really cool. I didn't know that you could. I've wondered about that. Like, how do I copy this one and adapt it? It has a CC license on it, but you know how. There's a couple questions in the chat too, Christina, about sort of how these could be graded or adding points. So I think, and then there was also one in the forum about, which kind of relates to this, how do you embed these somewhere?
Yes. Should we jump onto that or create more activities? But yes, I'm gonna go over.
Christina, before you do, I have some questions from this setting. What if I am not the original creator of the question, but let's say I copy the same thing from the question from OpenStax, and I like to give a proper credit, then what I need to do from here? Because I'm not the owner of
right, and I would definitely put the reference in here. So this
then
is,
you need to go to metadata. Metadata is the place where I need to go to?
yes.
Okay.
And then you can put I would even put the source. So if you have the link to it, you can provide that information here. And if you made changes to that activity, for example, like you could you know, call yourself like a co-author to it, but you could put all kinds of information in here, because that will kind of stay with the activity as it, you know, lives there on as it is, or as it gets copied.
Then author's name, should I put my name if I'm the one who create this and get the?
And then I would do that, and then put the original information below, and there are, yeah, I will put it on that one.
Okay,
There's additional author comment. If you want to add maybe the link to the OER that this belongs to, you can put that in there.
But the author's name, it shows your name, Christina, there. That's
it automatically
it
considers you as the original, since I am well, this one was a copy, but if I were to create a new one, I think it already you know, does that. If I were to go to my, where's my original activity, the one that I had, and you will notice that if you go to the library, as soon as an activity is created and you put it in the library, it will show up in the library. So it's actually pretty fast. And I believe it also syncs in with ADAPT that fast. So this activity that I created, it will show up kind of like a mirror image of it in ADAPT. So you could use it, and somehow it's not loading. There you go. So this was the copy. Oh, you created the same copy. Very good. So, but if I were to go to my original, which was this one. Interesting. It didn't, because I remember I forgot to put my name on it.
Yeah.
It didn't have it there.
I
but no, it is here. It is here. It automatically, so unless you go and change it, it automatically puts you as the author, I believe. So that's kind of it. And then this one was with the collaborator.
Christina,
So
Christina, would you mind I'm sorry, would you just mind to show us an example of like what Unji's asking? Like, can you actually do one with how Unji's asking to add the OpenStax, like, so we can see what it actually looks like when you actually do
Yeah.
give them that credit? Thank you. Sorry,
Inji,
Unji.
Inji, you have an activity. Why don't you open it and do it, and we can open and see what you've done. But before I wanted to go on, remember I did this one and I did it wrong, and you see the points here. This is not really share, so it's not collected. So I just want to point out that it might look like this is just for you to see there are other people coming and doing it, but I'm unable to collect these points. So for the question about collecting points for grade, this is not the way you will do it. So which one are you doing? Is it this one or this one?
Actually, I follow exactly what you have done. So I follow exactly the first one, and I copied and pasted, and I have the same one. I mean, so I play with it, but then when you click the, oh, you know what? Actually, that's mine, so you can access to it. I want you to open yours so I can ask you some questions from the page where I have some question. The yours.
The original or the
Yeah,
copy?
yours, your original. So I have some question on the
Yeah.
metadata. Right there. And then
Metadata.
yeah. So here's my question. So I can give the proper credit from OpenStax because I have a questions that I imported it to my ADAPT from OpenStax. So I copy and paste it, and I know what page it needs to be under, so I can just copy and paste and give the proper credit. But here, author's name is gonna be me. But then you see on the top, it says license with the asterisk, and then license version. And I don't know what I need to put there.
So I would assume the originator would be the OpenStack.
Oh, I see. So I need to change to originator.
But the OpenStack would have a name, an author, a main person, right? I don't know. So you could put that in there as the originator, you as the author, because you are the author of the activity being added. So you're basically citing the source.
Right. So I in this one, I just use originator for the OpenStax and give the proper credit to OpenStax.
I would do it like that. Then it will show up like this. Let me see if I save this.
Okay.
It will show up for both. Yes. So your name appears first, and then originator will show up next.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's what I wanted it.
And I would follow the license of the original
OpenStax.
thing.
Okay.
Unless you're totally changing the activity, then it becomes yours.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you.
But I think it is also a good it's good if you show the original source or where this is attached to. If it is coming from an OpenStack textbook, for example, then you want to put that as a way for others in the future to know that this is connected to that.
Thank you, Christina.
Let's see, where are we? So are we good with filling the blanks? Questions about filling the blanks? Let's go back to, I wanted to try to see doing sort the paragraphs. Has anybody tried sort the paragraph? This is kind of like rearranging, I put it in the chat so you can see if you can do it right. So this is it's like a organizing. This is days of the week, and you need to start with Monday, lunes. So you can grab or you can use the arrows to move up and down. And there you go. You can see the collaborators in this activity, and they were added. I was the original person that created it, and I added my 3 collaborators into this activity. Okay. Now, how do we create this? Anybody interested in creating this? Has anybody used it in the past?
I think that looks cool. I kind of was,
Uh-huh.
I've never tried that one because I don't think I realized, now that I see one that you built, I can see a lot of uses for it.
Yeah. And so this is one, remember? It's not a green one, it's a yellow one, usable with workarounds. So the workaround that we were told that will work for this activity is this. This little message will basically make it more user-friendly. And it is not just for people needing, to use screen readers, but anybody, right? These are instructions. To use the keyboard to move a paragraph selected by typing the space. So it's giving you instructions on how to use this. So I will reset it so you'll be able to see, right? So it's telling you if you use a keyboard, you can use it by typing the space or enter the key, then use the up and down. So you can try it on your keyboard, and you can use, without a mouse, you can use this to be able to move your tiles up and down. With that little message there, we pass accessibility with this. So we were happy. So there are some that are some workarounds that are definitely, easy to implement. Let's put it that way. And I think it will be helpful for anybody that that is coming to this activity will know how to use anyways. So we're gonna try to create one, and I have again an activity that you can use to create. And we're gonna do what did it do? Oh, music. Anybody music? Probably not, but we're gonna review some music terminology from slowest to fastest. And so that's the activity that we're gonna create, and we're gonna go ahead and create a sorted paragraph. So we're gonna go to new, sort. Oh, you can type it right here unless you want to scroll for the activity. You can click there. Remember, if you click on this one only has an example, yeah. So this one is my morning routine. First I wake up, then I have breakfast. No, probably I get dressed, then breakfast. No, I brush my teeth probably. After I brush my teeth, okay. No, I got it wrong. So I guess that's not the morning routine this person wanted. So you can get to the example just to get an idea. But the other one, remember, had a video. So that one actually has a tutorial. The most commonly used ones actually come with more resources. So we're gonna create a question. Oh, people are already working on it. So we're gonna do a music one, and then I'm gonna somebody's really fast creating it before me. Okay, we're gonna call it music term. Oh my gosh, can't terms. Again, if you're bringing it from somewhere else, clear the format, and we're gonna put this heading 2. Next, I grab. So these are the words that I'm gonna have to put in here. Okay, I'm showing you a quick trick on this. I'm gonna copy this. So you saw I grabbed the whole thing, right? I clear, then I take one out. And one by one. That one, I don't have to type it. I'm gonna need another one. And one more. Is this the order? I think it is, right? I think I probably did it. Anybody know music? Is that the right order? Because I need to put in the right order. Grave, lento, largo, adagio, andante. Sounds right. Hopefully that's right. I'm gonna check the metadata. I'm gonna put my license, and I don't have anybody else added. We're gonna put it under, I believe it's humanities and music. Go ahead. There you go. It will automatically shuffle up the order. And then every time you come, it should look different. And there it is. I go to rights. Yeah, it did this again. So this number that you see is actually my it's not my name, but it is my code name, I guess. Anybody getting this code like I do?
Krishna, I get the exactly the same.
The code?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it has to do with how new you are to LibreTexts after a while, because mine doesn't do that, and I've made quite a few studios. It gives me that number thing, and I've replaced my name. I've typed in my
Yeah.
name on every single one.
Yeah.
And I did ask them about it, and I think they just haven't gotten to, like, it doesn't work for everybody yet.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be okay. I didn't have numbers before. So this switch happened because I remember that my name used to show up as a default and without those codes. So that's kind of it in terms of that activity. So I wanted to show something that a little different. So you can think of different ways of using it. So Stephanie, you teach, is it biology? How would you
Yes.
use this ordering thing?
I actually just started making one because I made this really complicated drag and drop H5P that was putting the steps of the light reactions of photosynthesis in order. And it was really hard to make. And like, as you just mentioned, it probably isn't very accessible. So I'm like just copying and pasting what I had in that drag and drop into this so that they could put them in order. And I think it will work a lot better.
Yeah. Drag and drop is not, it's one of the red ones. It's not even a yellow one.
It wasn't red. I think it said
Is it yellow?
usable with workaround.
Yes.
And I don't know what the workaround is.
The workarounds were difficult to implement, so we had to abandon our drag and drops. You have to give a lot of instructions. The workarounds are that you need to give enough instructions that somebody using a screen reader will be able to navigate with the keyboard. The problem with the drag and drop is knowing where to grab it and where to drop it. And apparently it's not, since we don't have access to the HTML code behind, there is no way of marking things in it. So it doesn't know where to. So imagine if you couldn't see, you're grabbing something, you have to put it somewhere else, and so you don't know where that something else is, the spot. That's kind of the gist of why we couldn't use it. So when you see those drag and drops, you have to be careful, not just in H5P, but in other places. How are they managing to make it accessible? Because that was the big one that we couldn't figure it out. So the next one is, I don't know how many of you tried using interactive video and how useful could it be. If you have Canvas Studio, you can do this in Canvas Studio. Same idea, you put in a video and then you put, they're called interactions. In this case, questions that you can put in the video where the video will stop, student will have to answer and then, continue. Has anybody tried that? Interested in learning how to use it? Or the college, the district has Canvas Studio, right? So most likely, I mean, I don't use the interactive video here. I use Canvas Video for Studio, Canvas Studio to do my video type of questions in between all my lecture videos.
Yeah, we have Canvas at Clovis. We have Canvas Studio and Panopto, and all the other colleges have one or the other of those or both.
Yeah,
we aren't all the same, but they have something to do that.
Yeah, so Panopto works the same way. But I just wanted to show you that you can do the same thing and include those type of videos. So the instructions are here, and we're gonna do a quick one, and I gave you a video if you wanna just follow along. So we're gonna create an interactive video. Oh, I did, that's right there. We're gonna actually, what am I creating? Is it oh, I didn't put the title of it. Thought it was I think it's an ASL days of the week. Days of the week. Still not remembering it, but at least it shows up. And it asked me for the video. So when I click on it, I could upload a video that I want, but I could just grab a video from YouTube, and I'm gonna grab this one. Insert. Then I will move on to step 2. So it's pretty simple. It gives you step 1, upload video. Step 3 is the interactions. So now the video shows up here, and I will figure out where I want this question to be.
T for Tuesday.
Maybe this is where I want the next question. And I have my choices. I could, let's see, I probably want to do a true false, maybe. But you have fill in the blanks. You have a drag and drop, mark the words. Actually, they added even more things in here. I would just keep it simple. And this one will be question 1. True, false, and what is the questions? Is Thursday the next day? I think it is. I think it's false. I don't even remember what the answer was. Let's put it as false. And then done. You could include a summary, kind of like to end it, but I want to say what it was that I was trying to do. Days of the week, ASL. Oh.
Hi guys, I'm Faris, and today I'm going to show you how to do the signs of the do a quick review. Monday, T for Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay. So at this point, this dot showed up, right? Probably that's not what I wanted. And another thing it did that I didn't like is the video didn't stop. Right? It just continues. So I will want to go back. Go back to interactions. Make sure that the
Today I'm going to show you how to do the signs of the days of the week. Thursday.
So this I will move it.
Friday,
And then I want the behavior to stop the video. Which one is it? Stop the video override. Start show button. Deactivate sound. Am I not reading it? One of these is the one that is supposed to make it stop the video so it won't be able to continue. Let me see. Yeah, adjust the left in the blank timing. No. It's one of this, sorry. I had it right there. Oh, there you go. I knew it. So you have to open the actual activity, the question where it is true, it was false. And then under behavior, I do want this to feedback. Let me check. Show. I still don't see it. Pause video. There it is. So it will pause the video when it comes to the question, and you would have to answer the question before you move on. Now we got it. Those changes. Content has either been modified or the user already modified by another user. Another user besides me. That is very strange. Okay. Somehow there's another user that it's not letting me modify it. Yeah, I wasn't able to save it. Now this activity, again, you could use it as part of the homework. You can use your Canvas Studio or Panopto to do the same thing. I know that there is, for example, I show the ASL example because I know there is a team building ASL collections around this using this video in Studio. So it is, and again, it's very slow. Either me or this is not loading. Anyways, well, this is still loading and I don't know why I'm not able to get out of here. Okay. Anybody been able to create videos? It's very slow. Oh, there we go. So Stephanie, you created a sorted paragraph. Oh, is this the one that you created?
Yeah, that's the one I just made.
Wow. That was
Well, I had
good.
already made it, but it works. I think this is much better. The one I have now is really embarrassing. The one I had made before.
Wow, very good. So did you just copy the activity and then replace it? Or did you
I
just
had
create
made
one?
a drag and drop one, so
Mhm.
I just opened the drag and drop one and copied and pasted
Copied
the
and pasted.
steps into this new one.
Oh, wow. See, that was very fast, reusing the activity that you already had. I wanna see if there are, more questions about this part, because I wanted to show how you would use this, in other places. But again, I want to show how all these new activities are being populated right now, as somebody's very busy making other things in here. So there are 23,000 plus activities so far. And a lot of them actually are hidden. Some of them are not shared in the library that are being kept. So in terms of options, there are a lot of options. Again, you can go ahead and try different ones, and there should be always an option to, for example, we're using speak the words we're looking at this one for our team. It's so it will tell you what you want, and then you say the answer for, and it didn't like my answer. And it will be able to give you the answer. This is a cool one if you're trying to do like a pronunciation, or I guess even for math you can do it instead of just typing 4. You just have to tell you 4. And by looking at the example, it will give you an idea of how is being used. In terms of other cool ones that are there, I did mention the 3D version. The virtual tour, the branching scenario. We had looked at advanced fill in the blanks, but this was not accessible. And then ADAPT created select choice. The advanced fill in the blanks is like a drop-down menu. So it's exactly the same as select choice in ADAPT, that it is accessible. So you want to kind of pick and choose, especially if you want to use it in ADAPT as homework. Some of the stuff you can bring it here. Some of the stuff you can do it in a much faster without having to worry about the workarounds on accessibility. There are many that I have played around it, but I haven't used it because of that. Even the flashcards, those things you probably want to use it in ADAPT. Now, my question here is, how many people here are interested in using this as homework, to collect points, for example, and how many don't care? Because that will determine the way you want to use this are you embedding this in Canvas? If you're doing that, you're not collecting points. And then if your goal is for students to receive credit for the homework, then you will have to use it in ADAPT. So if anybody interested in using this just for students to practice, then maybe you want to put it in a Canvas page. So here's an example. I put this activity, it's a H5P activity embedded into a Canvas page. So you could have the lesson, you could have videos, you could have, all your content in a Canvas page, and then this activity shows up, kind of like to finish your lesson or to kind of test, whether they understood the content. And it's super easy. You just grab so if you go to any activity here, so for example, I'm gonna grab Stephanie's, what is this called? This activity, light reaction steps. I'm gonna just grab the embed code in here, the iframe code, and I'm gonna add it to my rocks activity. So I open my Canvas page. I open the HTML, and I'm gonna call it, what's it called? Light reaction steps. Oh, actually, I shouldn't have typed it here, but okay, put it here. And there it is. This is like a part 2 of my lesson of rocks. So is it with the rocks? I don't know, but so this way you could have your lesson on rocks, you have an activity on rocks, and then we move on to light reaction steps with this activity that I created in H5P. It's useful in the sense that students are able to interact with the content right away. I'm not collecting any points again. This is just embedded in a Canvas page. I could do the same thing, including it in a LibreTexts page. I'll show you how you embed the activity in a page, but again, you're not collecting points at this point with this. Anybody using it like this?
I use it this way, but I have them embedded in LibreText.
In LibreTexts, yeah. I have it both ways. I have it in here. So there are some activities that are in here. I use this for like at the end of the module, if students want extra activities besides the homework that they do get points, this is kind of like a refresher or extra activities that they want to do. So I put some of those worksheets that I used to have in paper, I converted those into H5P questions. So they are, auto graded. They're auto graded, auto answer. So they will actually know the answers, and then they use it if they needed to review before a quiz or an exam. So that's one way of doing it. Let me see. Any questions? Anything that you want to see in
I don't know if it's different in your Canvas, but we have like an embed icon in ours so you don't have to actually go to the HTML code side if that's intimidating. I don't know if you click on edit and then go to the 3 dots on the right, then that last icon, the cloud, you can actually just type you can paste your embed code in there. It's newish. And so then you don't even have to ever go over to the HTML side to put these in.
Like that. Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't. So I need to put it somewhere though. Do I need to place? Oh, so it was on the top. Yeah, I already did. Oh, wow. I didn't know about the cloud. Thank you.
It's hidden away, like
that icon I didn't know. Oh, I do it the old way, but yeah, that's a cool trick. Thank you. Since I have my cursor on the top, it just put it on the top, I guess. Very good. Let me try to get to my LibreTexts page. Okay. Well, I'll do that. I'm gonna probably mess up my Teams. I'm gonna have to erase it after I put it in. So I am in a LibreTexts page, so that we're actually working revising one of our OERs from 5 years ago, and we're adding new content, and that means adding new activities. So I wanted to say that I want to add at the bottom some activities like this at the bottom of the activity of the page. And the same way that I was able to add in a Canvas page, I should be able to do it here. So looks a little different. And that has changed also from how it used to be. So for example, I want the activity to live here. You go to, let's see, maybe maybe I put, Stephanie, your activity in my Spanish one. I'm gonna grab the H5P ID, which is this one. So all the activities, so again, I'm using Stephanie because this was not my activity. Stephanie created this, but I could embed this into my page, into my OER, just by grabbing this H5P ID, go to Elements, Templates, and then I'm gonna pick the one that says H5P. Insert the template. And there's this box that shows up. I will open it up, and do you see where it says ID? And there's a 1. I will replace that 1 with the code of the activity that I want to include. There it is. Save it. Is that how you do it, Stephanie?
I actually couldn't figure out how to do it that way. So I was doing it the old-fashioned way on the HTML side. I'm just adding the embed code.
Yeah. I think Denmark won't select this. I think there's a reason. You see what it did? It creates it auto creates, kind of like when you add figures and images, it creates the numbering. So this is chapter 9 or module 9, page 5, activity 1. So if I were to add a second one, it will go 9.52 and so on. So the numbering is all done automatically without you having to do it. Before we had to do it manually until this template insert thing showed up. It makes it much easier. And then there's your activity. So before you used to do this one by one. And then if the chapter changed, like if somebody came and remixed this, then the numbering would have to change manually. But by doing it this way, the numbering will always go with the page. It will automatically change. So that's kind of a short version of how to insert into a Canvas page, as well as a LibreTexts page. Now, if we want to look at figuring out how to use this activity in ADAPT, because now I don't want students just to do this, but I do want them I want to be able to collect points. You know, students want to do this not just for extra practice, but actual actual grade. So in that case, I would have to use it in ADAPT. Try to log into ADAPT. So again, we're not creating the activity, we're just gonna use it in ADAPT, so we are able to have those points be included. So I went ahead and opened the course that I had created several weeks ago. Now I'm gonna create a new assignment. I'm gonna call it H5P activities. Homework. Just leave it like that for now. Everybody. Oh, I needed to put penalty 0. I probably want students to be able to do it multiple times. I might change that too. Where is it? Unlimited times, 0 penalty. Save. So I have my new H5P activities. I could open it up. I don't have anything here. So I would have to go grab some activities. I'll search questions. And here's where you can search just for H5P. So I'm going to search for H5P questions. And do you remember how many there were in H5P? Anybody remember? It
I
doesn't
thought there
quite.
was more. Was it more than that or less?
There were 23,000 over there. And there are 22,000. The discrepancy could be one at a time, you know, that there are multiple, but there were some that are probably not coming in for whatever reason, that they're either not shared or they don't work here. And I could do a search for tags, or I could just start grabbing stuff. I think it's just grab mine. That's kind of the ones. Let me see. It happens that they're all mine, but let me see if I could grab accounting. Are there any accounting ones? Oh, there are some accounting ones. Okay, so let's say I wanna grab these 3, since there are only 3. I'm just gonna grab, they're true, false. And this is an unknown. What is that? I have no idea what that is. Okay, so I grabbed 3 accounting questions. They're true, false. They're not super exciting. So probably I want to get other ones. And this was a multiple choice, but somehow it didn't mark it as multiple choice. So now I could deploy this in ADAPT. And remember how we had connected ADAPT to and link it up to your Canvas course. And once that is done, you could add these H5P questions, and now students will be able to complete it and get points. And you can change the point system from here too, one by one, or from your assignment property. So from here, you can control if I want all these activities to be worth, I don't know, a different point. You could change it from, they're automatically set at 10 points. I don't know why that was done like that, but you could also change it when you see it in Canvas in grades. So if, for example, there are 3 activities right here, so that would equal to 30 points, right? And that's all you're gonna do for this week. But I don't wanna see 30 points in my grade book in Canvas. I could call that 100 points. That assignment would be worth 100 points. And then what it does is it would automatically change it, calculate. If the student gets 30 points, it would actually show up in Canvas as 100 points. So that, let me see if I could show it here. I think I do have an activity. Maybe this one. So I could go in here, and because this is at the assignment level, I could make it that this assignment, yeah. So instead of being 30 points over there, I could make this 100 points. And then it will do automatically the calculation. So 30 points equals 100 points. There. So when you launch it, I don't even remember what this activity was. Yeah, so this one had four activities, but in Canvas grades, it's gonna show up as 100 points as the maximum. Any questions? So good that it's recorded because go through all of them all at once.
I have a question about who can, I guess if you're picking an H5P question that you made in Studio, you maybe don't want it to be public, or I don't know, like, is there a way to, on the H5P part, make it so that maybe other instructors can see it, but like that it's not just out on the internet for your students?
That's when you can go ahead. Let me see. This is not mine, but I'll go to find one of mine.
Like when you don't add it to the library.
Yeah, and that you can definitely do that. And I know, is this mine? Yeah, it's mine. So let's say I do not want to share this with the world. I could go ahead and go to settings, and you want to include it in your profile so you will be able to find it, but maybe I don't want to include it in the library. So I could turn that on and off all the time. And then
Would
save
other
it.
instructors still be able to find it, or would it just
Not
be
in the
yours?
library.
Okay.
Now, the problem with this, if you do this, it's not gonna, I don't believe it shows up in ADAPT because you're not sharing it. It only the public, the courses, the activities that have been made public and part of the library will show up. Because we had to publish all our activities. So when we were creating our activities, we didn't want to have it all out, since we wanted to make sure that we did a whole run and find all the typos or the mistakes. And then we realized that it disappeared. So now you can't find it anymore. But then we realized that we couldn't really use it until they were made public. But what was nice is that I didn't have to go and turn on each one of them. They were able to do the entire collection all at once. They made all the activities public. Now, in terms of what I had prepared, here is that. Let me see, what can I do? So I have how to embed in H5P, the H5P into Canvas. I guess I didn't put the screenshot for the LibreTexts. Now, this download, nobody asked about this. Has anybody used this download? Wonder what that is? So if you go to any activity, let's see, I'm gonna go back to this one. You're gonna see a reuse where you're gonna get the info of copying it and also the downloading. Now the downloading, you don't need to download here because it is, if you're using it within Studio. This is if you're using materials from other places. Let's say, do I have it here? Okay, let me try to bring stuff. So if you have activities that you're bringing from another system, remember that last week I mentioned that there are other collections in different repositories. So that is when you are gonna have to bring in as a download, and then you can upload. Actually, it is actually a good example to show since we have some time. I'm gonna bring this one here. So let's say I'm gonna go to the H5P Ontario and grab this activity. Is that an activity? Oh, there you go. And I wanna reuse it. Because it's a different system, I would have to download this and then come back to my Studio page. And now I'm gonna have to upload that file that I just found. There you go. And then use it. So you see what I did. I brought this from a different repository, not that doesn't live in Studio, and uploaded the file in here so I could use it here. There it is. I could, there's a, I would say it's a biology. And then it should have the correct metadata of the author. It is showing up there. Let's see what it does. But you see, I didn't have to do anything. It came with all the license, the title, everything is there. And I save it. So now it lives in Studio. There it is. So I'm the one that brought it in, but the original license stays with the activity. So now that it's here, I could do the copy content, right? But anybody that is coming from the outside, trying to take stuff from Studio, for example, and take it to their, that repository, they would have to do this download. It's kind of like when you have to do the cartridge thing in Canvas, you have to do that. But yeah, it is. That was kind of the last thing I had. Anything else? My chat go. So yeah, I would assume a lot of people would just use the embed code and use it in Canvas. I do that all the time. But if you're working in projects in LibreTexts, that's another way to have those activities be able to use. And then again, the same activity could be used for actual homework with points. So I'm hoping that you can see the versatility of H5P and how easy it is to create, to copy and multiply the same activity in many different ways. But at the same time, it comes with also limitations. So if you wanna invest in creating like collections of homework, I would choose to use ADAPT. But if you want some more colorful activities for students to use for practice, then H5P is a good option. So in terms of what I have, that's all I have, unless somebody has specific questions. I don't know. Anybody else?
Let me see.
I'm curious to see how, because Pressbook also has a collection. Yeah, see, their collection only has 8,288.
Yes.
So it's not a large collection of activities. There isn't anything out there that could match ADAPT and the capabilities of ADAPT. But like in Pressbook, what they done, you can search for books that have H5P activities. So this is right now, there are 2,805 books with some type of H5P, at least one H5P question. So this one, the overweight one, has 15 activities, which is definitely not a lot. This one has 11, 15 activities. So they're probably scattered in between the pages. So definitely not enough for any like homework. They're more just, I think, for checking comprehension things.
I think it's a great tool to use to kind of just to help with the learning process.
Yeah.
Versus assessment. I like to use the word search one, not the word search one, the crossword one. That one is
Yeah.
green. I like to use it for vocabulary. Is that one
Yes.
of the
It takes a lot of time though. We did.
It's one of the easiest because it's just like copy and paste the word and the definition. Well, for
True.
mine, I use it for vocabulary, so
For
it's not
vocabulary,
super
yeah.
creative. You know,
And I think if you don't make it too large, like I think one mistake I did with our when we wanted to do user was we had too many vocabulary words, so it just became this very busy thing. So it yeah. But it breaks the reading, right? You could have it, and depending on how you have it, this is again, don't look at it. This is still actually, this is a bad page to look at because we don't have much content on this one built in yet. But it breaks the whole, reading passage. It stops you from continuing. In our case, we didn't want to break our reading and a presentation. We wanted to have it all at the end, so we purposely bunched them all here at the end. So you see, before we used to do this one by one. So now we should actually go back and add it the way I showed you how we did it. This is actually, we typed it in. And the problem with this, like I said, because this page is not, it doesn't stay fixed as it is. And if somebody comes and remixes, this will always stay 1.31. Yeah, so we created this at the end as a way for students to practice at the end. Another thing was when you print this or when you try to do a PDF and download it, if you have too many of this, I don't know if you notice, it chops off the page and leaves a lot of empty spots because this is an iframe, it's a block. And it doesn't just cut off, so it leaves a lot of empty spaces. So we didn't want empty spaces in between the page. So we wanted at least if they're going to be empty space, they're going to be at the end. No, I don't know, unless there are any other specific questions. Anybody's trying different things, or everybody's done with H5P, more exciting things.
Christina, I have some question.
Mhm.
Thank you for all this. I feel more comfortable working on H5P. But
Okay,
then I
good.
realized, Christina, I thought I'm gonna just copy and paste all the questions from like OpenStax to H5P. But when I imported all these OpenStax in ADAPT, they automatically populated all the questions from the textbook. And then it says under submission, it says web work. So here is my question. Should I create the same questions in H5P platform, or can I just use it, whatever it says web work under submission category under adapt? I try to understand what the differences between these two.
Okay, so those questions, where do you want to use the activities?
As a homework.
Oh, it's homework. So
yeah.
it's here. Okay, so let's pretend that I'm gonna add it here. These questions that you found, they are search questions, and you said they were part of a collection. So web work is another, so H5P is one, it's a native one, you know, so web work is another type of platform. So the nice thing about ADAPT lets you bring in other platforms. Like you could bring H5P and you can remix it. Like you can mix it all in one. So that's why I wanted to show you. So this collection right now, of homework, has H5P questions, but now you're telling me that maybe I want to look for web work. And oh yeah, because didn't I tell you last week that these questions that you wanted to bring in, they already exist?
Yeah, that's what I just realized. But of course, I want to have a little bit mixture of web work.
Yes.
So that is that's what I'm thinking, just a static one. There are no changes, but then I like to use H5.
You can do that, and you can do
for the flexibility with the different numbers when changing the wordings.
Yeah.
So I like to have
so
a little
I'm gonna grab. So these are not the activities that you're talking about, but you can see these are web work activities, right? So I grabbed 3, and I added to my, I call it H5P activities, right? Remember, I grabbed these 3. These were H5P accounting, the 3 H5P accountings, and now the next ones have 3 that are
web work.
Web work. Is this math? That looks like math, right? And now it's all part of the same, like a homework set, right? And so this is something that no other system can do. So I could have 3 H5P, 3 web work, 3 natives, whatever, all in one setting, and the students would not know the difference. Because they're all graded the same way. These ones are worth 10 points, and they're already there. So you just have to add it to your homework, to your assignment.
Got it. Thank you.
And then
it's basically same for the students' standpoint. And if it's existing, I can already use it from the web work. And if I want to change the numbers, then I could just create a new one with a H5P.
Yes.
Okay, great.
So if you go from this view, you can see exactly the type of platforms. So again, students don't care, they don't need to know, but you know, you want to keep tab. Okay, I brought in 3. I brought in 3 from web work, and maybe I'll create 3 new ones from in ADAPT with the native questions, you know, that are different from this, for example. You know, maybe I'll add a discuss it in here, right? Where students would have to like, you know, put their postings and record their postings. So it's something, so it brings in all the good things that you like about each of their platforms, So in your case, web work is good because the questions are already typed in, right? So you can use those. Those are rapid questions that you can, start using right now. You can create H5P questions if you want some more interactivity, same way as ADAPT.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, so that's again, I could go in and create, bring in from what I created. I could also search from the commons. That's another, like which collection was it? The one that you were looking at?
The one that I got was from OpenStax. I was muting myself.
Yeah, is it the accounting?
Yeah,
I don't know.
financial, yeah, OpenStax.
Managerial?
It does not matter because I'm
It
gonna.
doesn't matter. Okay. Did you see? I went in from the all questions, but if I don't want to search through all the questions and I know exactly where these questions live, I could just find the collection, and then maybe from chapter 1, there are 56 activities. If you know what you like, you can just grab a few from here, and now my set has 8. So the last, actually, this is probably not a good one. These are not good ones because they're open and they're not auto-graded. So you probably do not want these. Oh, I should have checked that before grabbing it. Yeah, nothing to submit. So if it says nothing to submit, it's because it's not auto-graded. So this is not what you want. But again, you can search questions if you don't know where they are. But in your case, it's much faster if you just go to the actual, collection and grab it. If I wanted to. I wanted to show something else, but guess I'll leave it to that. So that's all I have. Any other questions? I hope that you got a sense of how many different ways, there is no right or wrong, many different ways for you to use. Look at other people's examples to kind of guide you. I think that's a good way to kind of think of, like I never thought of using sort the paragraphs, but maybe I could use it for this, or maybe I could use this type of question in and another great thing is you can go ahead and copy that activity, like the one that we did for music, the music terminology, and change that and put it in something else, right? So you could keep the whole set the same and just change the words. I know for a fact that there was an Italian instructor that liked what we did with, I think there were flashcards that we had, and for colors. Yes, there were flashcards, there were colors, and they were all in Spanish, colors in Spanish. So she basically copied that, kept all the images, and took the Spanish and replaced it with Italian. And just within seconds, she had a whole new activity in Italian now. I thought it was a great idea. I mean, looking for images is always difficult and takes a lot of time. So somebody just go ahead and use that, reuse it, and so you could see other activities and the possibilities of that, and then make it your own.